What if I told you your marriage was never delayed? You were the partner you dream of, the love you pray for, the life you envision. They're all waiting for one thing: your alignment. Because God's timing isn't about waiting, it's about becoming. We often say, it's just not the right time. But what if timing isn't the issue? What if divine timing only begins to move the moment you do? You see, life doesn't withhold blessings. We resist them through our doubts, fears, and disbelief. The universe is never late. It's perfectly punctual, but only when your vibration matches your vision. You don't wait for love to arrive. You rise to the level where love already exists. That's when everything begins to shift in your favor. Marriage doesn't delay, you do. Every time you question your worth, every time you chase instead of attract, every time you believe love is outside of you. The divine plan has never paused. It's simply been waiting for your readiness. The moment you decide you are worthy of sacred union, the path unfolds almost magically. Not because something suddenly appeared, but because you finally tuned into what was already yours. We often confuse divine timing with divine hesitation. But God never hesitates. He aligns. Alignment happens when your inner world reflects what you want to see in the outer world. If you want a loving marriage, you must become the embodiment of love. You must walk, speak, and think from the vibration of someone who is already loved. You can't receive from a place of emptiness. You can only receive from fullness. That's the real meaning of God's timing. It's your emotional and spiritual readiness meeting divine order. Think of it like a radio frequency. Your desired marriage is already broadcasting on a certain vibration. If you're tuned to fear, doubt, or desperation, you'll never hear the song. But the moment you adjust your frequency, by assuming love, feeling complete, and trusting the process, you hear it clearly. It was always there, but your inner noise kept you from listening. That's how divine timing works. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about becoming the right vibration. We delay our manifestations, not because God says no, but because we keep saying, not yet. We say it through our thoughts of lack, our self-sabotage, our fears of abandonment, our beliefs that love must be earned. But true love is not earned, it's allowed. You allow it by surrendering your resistance. You allow it by standing in the knowing that you are chosen. You allow it by releasing the story of waiting and embracing the story of being. Every delay in your life is a mirror, showing you where you're still unprepared to receive. The wait is never punishment, it's protection. The divine will not give you what your mind cannot sustain. If your heart still fears love, if your identity is still rooted in loneliness, the union you seek cannot yet appear. Not because it doesn't exist, but because your energy would reject it. So God waits, not for time to pass, but for you to evolve. The moment you align with the version of you who's ready for marriage, life opens like a door that had always been unlocked. The truth about divine timing is that it's never late, only precise. The moment your inner reality says yes, the outer reality rushes to catch up. But most people never reach that moment of true yes. They stay trapped in maybe. Maybe it'll happen someday. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm not enough yet. But the word maybe kills miracles. Miracles thrive on certainty. The universe cannot deliver what you're uncertain about. It matches your faith, not your fear. So if you want divine timing to move, replace your hesitation with conviction. God's timing is not about waiting in pain. It's about preparing in peace. The universe uses the waiting season to mold you into the person who can handle what you've asked for. Every heartbreak, every delay, every disappointment was not a denial. It was divine refinement. You were being shaped, strengthened, and stretched into alignment with the love you desire. You cannot receive a lifelong union with a temporary mindset. You must evolve into the version of you that can keep what you prayed for. That's what divine timing really is. The merging of your spiritual maturity with your physical reality. Marriage doesn't delay because your partner isn't ready. It delays because you haven't become the match to what you're asking for. Energy attracts lightness. A person living in scarcity cannot attract abundance in love. A heart filled with fear cannot magnetize peace. The moment you heal your wounds, shift your self-talk, and declare, I am ready for the love that reflects my wholeness, everything changes. The partner appears, not as a rescue, but as a reflection. That's why God's timing often feels like magic. It's not magic, it's alignment made visible. When you stop doubting and start deciding, divine timing accelerates. God doesn't need time. He needs faith. Faith compresses time. The stronger your conviction, the shorter the gap between desire and manifestation. When you live from the energy of it's done, your steps become guided, your choices become divine, and your path clears itself. You meet the right person at the right moment, not because of coincidence, but because your vibration called them forth. The truth is, divine timing is never about waiting for someone to choose you. It's about you choosing yourself. The moment you claim your worth, the universe rearranges itself to mirror that choice. You begin to move differently, think differently, and radiate differently. You attract not from need, but from abundance. People feel that shift. You stop chasing love and start commanding it through your presence. That's when marriage stops being a dream and starts becoming destiny. Don't let the illusion of delay fool you. What you think is not happening is actually everything happening behind the scenes. The divine script is unfolding perfectly, but you must stay in faith long enough to see it play out. The unseen realm is always working faster than your eyes can perceive. When you keep your vibration steady, you allow that unseen work to take form. But if you waver, if you let fear take the wheel, you interrupt the process. The timing never changed. Your energy did. You are not waiting for love to find you. Love is waiting for you to recognize yourself as love. The delay ends when you stop seeing separation between who you are and what you want. You must become what you seek. If you desire commitment, embody stability. If you desire loyalty, embody trust. If you desire passion, embody presence. The divine mirrors your embodiment, not your longing. God's timing feels delayed only when you're standing outside your own power. Step back into your authority. You are not a beggar of blessings. You are the vessel through which blessings flow. Your belief is the signal that activates the unseen. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your vision, time becomes irrelevant. What you used to chase begins to chase you. What once seemed far suddenly becomes near. Marriage doesn't delay. You simply delay your belief in what's possible. Every time you doubt, you restart the clock. Every time you fear, you freeze divine movement. But every time you choose faith, you fast forward manifestation. God's plan isn't slow. Your trust is. And when trust finally becomes your default, timing no longer matters, because you live as if it's already done. That's when the miracle happens. That's when someday becomes now. So tonight, stop asking, when will it happen? And start asking, who must I become for it to happen? Because timing is not about the calendar. It's about consciousness. When your mind and heart synchronize with divine truth, time bends to your will. The person you're meant to be with is already woven into your story. They are not far. They are simply waiting for your alignment to signal now. Don't let the illusion of waiting steal your peace. Use the waiting season as preparation, not punishment. Love yourself into readiness. Speak life over your vision. Say, I am ready for divine partnership. I am ready for sacred union. I am ready now. And as you say it, feel it. Because feelings are the language of creation. The universe doesn't hear words. It feels vibration. And when your vibration says, it's done, the divine clock strikes instantly. Everything that once seemed delayed begins to align effortlessly. The person you've been praying for begins to move toward you, guided by a force bigger than both of you. And you'll look back and realize it was never about waiting for God's timing. It was always about becoming God's timing. God's timing isn't about making you wait. It's about waiting for you to become the person who can hold what you've asked for. The universe doesn't punish you with delay. It protects you until you're aligned with your prayer. Sometimes, it's not that your blessing isn't ready, but that your energy isn't steady. Divine timing is activated by inner harmony, not outer effort. When your thoughts, emotions, and faith stand in agreement, things you've prayed for begin to appear effortlessly. You must remember, God doesn't operate on your clock. He operates on your readiness. When you step into your worth, the timing shifts instantly. Every not yet transforms into now. You are never being denied, only prepared. The moment your vibration matches the vision, heaven releases what was already yours. The universe doesn't listen to your words, it listens to your energy. You can say you want love, but if your heart vibrates with fear, life will only echo your fear. Readiness isn't proven by how much you desire, it's proven by how deeply you believe. When you embody certainty, the world adjusts itself to your new tone. You attract experiences that mirror your emotional frequency. If you radiate peace, you magnetize stability. If you radiate doubt, you attract confusion. Reality is a reflection, not a coincidence. The universe doesn't delay. It aligns, it waits for the day your energy stops contradicting your request. When what you feel and what you ask for become one, manifestation becomes immediate. What you often call a delay is actually divine preparation. You're not being punished by waiting, you're being perfected in patience. Every setback is secretly shaping your soul, molding your faith, and clearing space for something better. You think nothing is happening, but the unseen is always working. The delay refines your heart, heals your wounds, and builds your capacity to hold lasting love. The divine knows that giving too soon can break you, so it strengthens you instead. Preparation seasons are not wasted, they are sacred. You are learning, shedding, and evolving through them. Trust the process, even when it's slow. Every waiting moment is a silent miracle in motion. When the foundation is finally firm, the blessing arrives without effort. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Desire alone does not manifest. Alignment does. You can wish for love endlessly, but if your inner dialogue whispers unworthiness, you'll only meet reflections of that belief. Life mirrors your dominant vibration. The energy you carry becomes the magnet that draws your experiences. When you become the embodiment of love, peace, and gratitude, your world transforms to match it. You cannot fake vibration. It reveals itself in your tone, your confidence, and your silence. So instead of chasing what you desire, be the vibration of what you seek, and it will have no choice but to find you. The law is simple. You receive not from wanting, but from being. Every time you doubt your worth, you postpone your own miracle. The universe cannot deliver to someone who keeps rejecting themselves. Doubt is a delay button. Belief is an accelerator. When you speak words of fear, you push your blessing further into the distance. But when you affirm your value, your destiny begins to move closer. You are the key that unlocks your own timing. If you see yourself as unworthy of love, love will remain hidden. But the moment you recognize your divine value, life starts rearranging itself to meet your confidence. Stop questioning your worth. Start declaring it. The faster you accept that you are deserving, the faster your prayer arrives. Divine timing begins where self-doubt ends. When your faith outweighs your fear, divine timing speeds up like lightning. Faith is not blind. It's visionary, it sees the unseen and trusts what the senses can't yet prove. The universe always listens to conviction over confusion. Every time you choose trust over worry, you collapse the distance between dream and reality. Fear freezes divine movement, but faith frees it. The more you lean into faith, the faster your manifestations unfold. Miracles respond to certainty, not hesitation. Don't let your circumstances trick you into disbelief. Appearances are temporary. Stand firm in your knowing. Faith doesn't make things easier, it makes them possible. The moment your heart holds more faith than fear, divine timing becomes divine acceleration. Marriage manifests not when you wait for love, but when you become love. You can't attract what you haven't embodied. When your soul radiates the energy of peace, gratitude, and joy, love is drawn to you like a magnet. Stop searching outward for what must first bloom inward. The divine doesn't respond to loneliness, it responds to fullness. When you fill yourself with self-respect, trust, and compassion, your vibration announces, I am ready, and life listens. The love you seek isn't far, it's just waiting for your frequency to rise high enough to meet it. The moment you love yourself as deeply as you wish to be loved, the reflection of that love will appear before you. Because marriage doesn't happen through waiting, It happens through becoming.